Welcome back to Economics N4, Module 2, Part 2. Back to price elasticity. Now we're going to go into the graphs. So, to understand how to describe elasticities, because economics is a lot about graphs, we're going to need to now understand the 5 different elasticities. The first one is price elasticity. When the price elasticity is very elastic, meaning the demand to a change in price is very responsive. We say that when the demand is price elastic, the change in quantity demanded is proportionally greater than the change in price. So whichever way the price is increasing, the demand will always be greater. Then we say that price is elastic. Number 2, when demand is price inelastic, meaning now the change in quantity demanded in proportionally smaller than the change in price. So whichever way the price goes, whether it's increasing or decreasing, the demand will be smaller than whatever the price is doing. So we say then the price is inelastic. Number 3, unit price elasticity. As it says, it changes per unit. So when you do the calculation, the answer will always be 1, because when demand is unit price elastic, the change in quantity demanded is equal to the change in price. So if the price increases with 1 unit, the demand will decrease with 1 unit. If the price decreases with 1 unit, the demand will increase with 1 unit. I hope I'm understood here. So the change in demand, percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in price equals 1. If the price change with 1 unit increases, the demand will change and decrease with 1 unit. Now the opposite. Perfectly inelastic demand occurs when a change in price results in a change in quantity demanded. So now when the change in price results in no change in quantity demanded. Totally the opposite of the specific first one when we said it was elastic. So elasticity, it's responsive. When the price changed, the demand changed. Now, perfectly inelastic demand is whichever way the price changes, the demand will not change. Perfectly elastic demand occurs when a change in price results in an infinite change in quantity demanded. Again, perfectly elastic demand occurs when a change in price occurs in infinite. Infinite means no end. So whichever way we are trying to change the price, there will always be a demand. There will always be a demand. So whichever market you are in and what product you are selling or product you are producing or service that you are rendering, whichever the price may be, there will always be a demand. Can you think of a product? Oh yes, there must always be a demand for water. There will always be in a demand. A couple of years back, or was it last year, when we had a water shortage, irrespective of what the dealer or retailer did with the water, the price, there was a demand. So you could buy water at Spa for 20 Rand, you could go to Shell Garage and buy the same water, 5 liters, for 30 Rand. There was a demand because we were in a drought system. So irrespective, perfect elastic demand occurs when a change in price results in an infinite change in quantity demanded. The graphs. Quantity demanded does not respond to changes in price. Quantity demanded does not respond to changes in price. So we will say that is perfectly elastic. The price is perfectly, demand is there and it does not have any effect on the price. Quantity demanded does not respond to changes in price. So whether the price is changing to 300 Rand or to 10 Rand, the demand will stay the same. There will not be any responsiveness or reaction of the demand. Equally said, the opposite. Quantity demanded is extremely now sensitive to changes in price. So which, irrespective what the price is now, the demand will go according to the price. The price will determine the demand. So the demand is very, very elastic. On this one, the demand curve is not linear. Remember what I said about the slope. It stretches from the top left corner to the right corner, and it's a linear slope. However, this elasticity is very responsive to what is happening within the market. The demand curve is not linear. It's not a straight line. It is rectangular hyperbola. So it will go like a little curve there, and the total revenue for each price quantity combination remains the same. So at that point it will be maybe unitary elastic, and at that point it will be smaller than the unit, and at that point it will be greater than the unit. So you'll find all the types of elasticities on the same curve. As I just said there. So smaller than 1, price is quite elastic. Unit elastic when it is at 1, and when it's smaller than 1, you will say then it's price inelastic. The relationship between the price, elasticity of demand, and total revenue. So what are you earning? Because remember what I said last time, you are the wealth. A customer is the feet into the shop, and your wealth, or how much you are spending in the shop or in the business, is determined by how much your customer is earning. So now we're going to need to look at the revenue. Revenue is the number of products that you're selling multiplies by the amount that you are selling it at. So total revenue is the units of products that you are selling times the selling price. And that will you talk about is my revenue, my income for the business. If I'm the owner of a water shop, I like to do the water, I think my glass is empty here, but you think of how many products do I need to sell in order to make an income. I don't just want to break even, and that we've done in model 1, where the demand curve and the supply curve meets at that little point, that break even point. I don't want to just break even and just make a living. I want to go above and make a surplus. So total revenue equals the number of products that you are selling times the amount you are selling it at. So how does it affect your price elasticity? Changes in price and quantity demanded result in changes in the total revenue. So if I change my price and keep the number of products that I'm selling, I'm going to have I will have an amount of revenue. Vice versa. The revenue will also be determined by the number of products that I'm selling, irrespective of the price that am I selling it at. And that is done in the little block at the bottom. Total revenue is the price times the number of products that I'm selling. So to get that product onto the shelf, I'm going to have an expense. So I'm going to say the total revenue equals total expenditure, and that's break even. When you start making a profit, then you're saying that I'm getting more income in than what my expenses are. So relationship between the price elasticity of demand and total revenue. If demand is price elastic, the percentage change quantity demanded times the is greater than the percentage change in price. When it's elastic, when the demand is price elastic, it means that irrespective of the price, my demand will be responsive. For example, if the price rises by 10%, quantity demanded falls by more than 10%. That is why I said it's very responsive. Elasticity is the responsiveness of the price. Say 12%, therefore total revenue must fall. So you're selling less. Your total revenue will be less because your price dropped. Next, price inelasticity. The change in price percentage change in quantity demanded is now smaller than the percentage change in price. The inverse relationship. So it will, here the price cannot determine the demand because the demand is not going to be responsive to any price changes. Let that sink in. The demand will not change. It will not react to any price changes. So, in the bottom block, price increases times the quantity sold equals the total revenue will also increase. So, irrespective of how many is sold here, a price increase will increase the total revenue. Okay. If demand is unit elastic, remember what I said, for every unit increase, there will be a decrease in demand. Any unit decrease in price will increase the demand per unit. For example, if price rises by 10%, quantity demanded falls by exactly 10%. 1 unit for 1 unit. Price increases with 10%, total revenue will stay the same because the quantity that you're selling will also be 10%. If demand is perfect inelastic, right? Quantity demanded does not respond to changes in prices, but total revenue will change when prices change. Okay, again here, irrespective of what happens with the price, there will always be a demand because your revenue will buy whatever. You will have a demand. You will always have a demand. If you have a demand, you're making sales. If you're making sales, you're getting an income. Right? If demand is perfectly elastic, quantity demanded is infinitely responsive to changes in price. And I think we've ransacked this one. So there will always be a demand irrespective of the price. Thank you very much.